All right, okay. Hi. Building or modifying a 4x4 can test you in a lot of ways. Breaking bolts, squashing knuckles, rust, and parts that just don't seem to want to fit. Sometimes, through these challenges, a unique bond can develop between you and this chunk of metal known as your truck. Some days are filled with little victories, and others are kind of humbling defeats. Today, I'll be trying to prove some ground on this thing. And if the truck decides to fight back, well, that's just kind of all part of our relationship to this point. Hey, I'm Mark, and thanks for tuning in today. If you're new to the channel, I definitely make sure to check out some earlier episodes, but here's a quick recap to this point. This 09 Frontier of mine is getting stripped down a little bit. We're pulling off the front end and getting ready for a manual transmission swap. I've also began to prep for a flat deck and a Titan swap. I'll be throwing in this older Nissan V6 as well. It's in great shape and already paired to my transmission of choice. I started to pull the grille and the radiator assembly out of the way. This way I could hopefully pull the engine, transmission, and transfer case all out together in one swift pull. That's the plan, but we'll see how it goes.
Here, I'll come over to you.
Okay. So if I was pulling the engine straight out from the top, this cross member could remain put. But because I'm pulling the transmission out with it, this cross member has got to go. Having kids around during these kinds of projects has its challenges, but it also helps me to remember to slow down and just enjoy the process. Part of that process is cleaning parts as I go. Wire wheeling the hardware and sandblasting stuff is satisfying, and a little bit of paint goes a long way. Parts for the Titan swap are also starting to show up, and I'm pretty excited about these chic looking control arms. Sometimes it seems like rough country can get a bit of a bad rap, but these Titan control arms got some solid reviews. Forged aluminum, OEM style silent bushings, greasable ball joints, and a solid price of $450 got me excited to try them out. Plus Leroy Overlanding out in Ohio uses them, and he's about as legit as it gets. Next, it's time to pull off this rear drive shaft. I'll probably be swapping out the rear axle as well, but it doesn't hurt to mark things as I go. I'm not gonna lie, I was not looking forward to pulling off the transmission support. They are notoriously annoying. Oh, there's my bottle jack. I figured it's a good idea to support the transmission so I don't squash my face. Now I can take off the rest of the bolts. And more bolts. With no more bolts holding this thing up, it was time to drop it all down. Or not. I was afraid of this, but I was also expecting it. 20 years of rust, grime, and an already tight fit makes these recessed cross members a pain in the butt to drop. Until finally... Nope. Still stuck. Eventually though, using sophisticated techniques, it finally dropped. I always try and look after my future self by cleaning up, greasing, or never seizing difficult parts for the next round of shenanigans. I'll be sure to do that here. But on the bright side, I've got another piece to add to our lovely front porch display. We'll need this drive shaft out of the way. And I gotta disconnect the shifter cable. Now for the front diff, I'm not sure if this is right or not, but I'm just dropping the whole assembly out of the way until the CVs rest on the frame. I'm not overly concerned, as eventually all these front end parts will be upgraded later in the project, but one thing at a time. There's lots of ways you can loosen off the engine mounts. I'm using an eclectic assortment of extensions and a breaker bar. No need to struggle. It is 2025 and we do have modern technology. I discovered something. So in here, popping some covers off to expose the shifter and the whole assembly there and pull everything out. In and amongst this area, we discovered a couple of things. Someone's pumpkin spice latte, or what's left of it. Looks like somebody called this place home for a little while. Thankfully, they've moved out to greener pastures or died. But the point of interest right now is the fact that when I was at this stage in my manual, you could see essentially the transmission from here. The hole through the body to the underbody was way bigger. I guess it kind of makes sense because in an automatic, all you really need is a couple of cables going down there. And that's all that's really got to go past the body right now. So we might have to cut this and make the hole bigger once I get this whole assembly out of here and see what we're working with. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a roadblock, a little bit of an obstacle, but I think we'll get by. Like any major project worth doing, building a truck is essentially hundreds of little tasks all mounting up to eventually reaching the goal. But the order of operation doesn't have to be linear. Sometimes it's nice to take a break from one task and venture onto something else, like this new jack I've been waiting for. I just want to thank the gentle shipping team for being extra fragile with it. Looks like it got a little wet on the way over here. Oh, instructions. Let's see what this says. I'd say this is kind of like Costco's take on the Harbor Freight Badlands Jack. I'm keen to see how it fares in the long run, but out of the box, it's got some girth, it's smooth, easy to use, and my favorite aspect is probably the price. Break time's over. Next up, I felt like pulling the automatic shifter and the center console out of the way. Unfortunately, some of the screws were directly hidden behind the seats, and with no power to move them, I didn't feel like pulling the seats out just for that. So, my trusty Fiat came to the rescue. I won't be needing this anymore. Okay, confession time. I got a little confession to make. I have attempted to pull an engine and transmission out via this method before, and it did not go very well. For our eyes here today, I have a special box. Now, what's in this box? Before I tell you what's in this box, let me explain why I have this box. Obviously, when you pull a transmission engine out with the transfer case, there's so much weight on that back end. If I were to just pull up on that engine, that whole transmission transfer case would just drop down to the ground. So what do? You gotta support that back end, obviously. Ideally, it would be on wheels or casters. That way, as you're pulling your engine out with your engine hoist, that support mechanism can follow you as you pull it out. The means that I achieved this last time was with a piece of wood on some casters and then just a bottle jack. And the bottle jack was supported my transfer case. It was working as I was sliding it out. Everything was going tickety-boo until I hit a lip in the concrete. And when the casters went in the lip in the concrete, the transfer case ended up falling off the bottle jack, crashed into the garage floor. And then if you remember back in episode 1, there's a scene where I am replacing my output shaft seal on my transfer case, and you can see the drain port, and it looks like it's pretty gnarly looking, and it looks like it's been welded. That's because it has been welded. It actually broke off when it fell off the bottle jack, and I was kind of panicking. I thought, well, so long transfer case. He lived a nice life. But I have a friend who is able to weld cast aluminum or whatever it's made out of. I dodged the bullet there and was able to, get by relatively unscathed. However, repeating your mistakes twice is the definition of stupidity. So I am not doing that. So before our eyes here, I have a low profile transmission scissor jack, which actually has a strap that I can strap over the transmission, so that way if there's a disturbance, it's not gonna fall off like it did last time. Let's open this thing up. I'm pretty stoked. So this is kind of where we're going to be kind of bushwhacking into unknown territory for the most part. To this point, it's been pretty basic. It's been nuts and bolts, and everything is designed that way from the factory. But we are venturing into uncharted territory where we are mounting things that were not designed to be mounted. So it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to figure it out. And I'm really enjoying making these videos and hearing your guys' feedback because it just gives me motivation. We are going to manual transmission swap this thing, and this thing is going to be a sick truck when it's all done, and I'm super excited. Just want to say, as always, big thank you to everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. We're in a great spot. The engine is ready to be pulled out, so we'll be doing that pronto on episode 3, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So thanks again for watching. 2 to 3 weeks, next episode, so we'll see you then.